Welcome to the UNA Baseball Review. Here are your hosts, Coach Mike Keene and Jeff Hodges.
Welcome to the UNA Baseball Review. I'm Jeff Hodges, along with UNA head baseball coach Mike Keene. Coach Keene, the UNA Lions 23-14 overall, 11-12 in the Gulf South Conference. 2 weeks to play in conference play, and the Lions still have a chance to make the conference tournament, but if nothing else, you want to finish strong. And it seems like the weak link right now has been our inability to score runs. In our last 9 conference games, 6 of them we've scored 1 run or no runs. And I know hitting is cyclical, but it just seems like everybody went at once, and something you're really not used to seeing.
Yeah, and it's been, this year's been one of those, if you look at my lineups, obviously you pick them up there, trying to figure out a lineup this year has been an ongoing process. You put another guy in there, move it around, hoping that's going to work, and one time it'll work, next time it doesn't. So, yeah, been very inconsistent, very disappointing that we haven't been able to put up runs, but, even our inability to do some of the short things, execution, we work on it every day in practice. We give them the approach. I know Coach McGregor's there talking about what we need to do, what are you doing when you go at the plate, and we have to be able to get up there and be able to execute and then perform our plan and be able to be better.
That's what I was going to say. One of the most frustrating things I know for you and the players, I guess, is the inability to do some of the fundamentals of our program, get bunts down and steal bases, things that have really helped us in the past, and we've really struggled with that here lately.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I mean, it's not, it's like I said, it's not like we're not working hard, we're not putting in the time. I mean, I know we bunt more than anybody else in the country. And in the past, obviously, we're as refined in the short game as anybody around, and that's been a mainstay of our game. But we're, now we for some reason this year struggled. We haven't been able to figure out why. It's in game situations, and I think that comes down to, you personally. Can you handle the pressure of the situation? Can you overcome it and do your job when it needs to, and not worry about whether I'm not going to do it? You just got to be able to get the job done, and that's what we need to have some guys really step up down the stretch and continue to play hard. But it's really to the point of time that let's put it together and let's go win.
In a 3-game conference series against Lee, you lost the first game 5-0. Came back in the second game, lost 2-1. Riley Sanderson pitched a great game, a 4-hitter, but we weren't able to score runs there, and then lost the final 3-1. Another Kyle Conkle pitched well, but we gave up a home run. So our pitching was really solid in that one, but we just didn't get any offense.
Right, and it was, to me, we had, the first game I just thought we almost kind of like the UH game, but played with like we were. Didn't know what we were doing, and I don't know what the reason is at home. We should be more comfortable at home. We didn't look more comfortable at home, and then seemed like we had a little bit better bats, but we pitched well. But they were able to come through, and as far as the defensive of the game, neither team made any mistakes. It was a really clean game on the mound and in pitching. It was whether who was going to be able to execute the short game more, who was going to be able to get the hit when they needed to, and then in that situation that weekend, Lee was the one that was able to get the hits when they needed to, and we did not.
The Lions among the best records in the conference as far as overall winning percentage, 23-14 for the first time this season. You lost a midweek game, went down to Montevallo, and it's always going to be an interesting game with them because you're using midweek pitchers. There's going to be some runs scored, but you were able to get a 7-run inning, got some offense going, but then your pitching really kind of let you down, and we lost 17-7.
Yeah, and in that ballpark, Montevallo's got a really short ballpark, and they got one of the top home run hitters in the country. He's like second in the nation, and that ballpark fits him perfectly. So I knew that even when we went up 7-3. We're tied. Looked at Coach McGregor and Coach Roseberg, and I said, we got to keep scoring because I said in this ballpark and with their offense, we know anything can happen, and I think that was probably the most disappointing. They did come back. We had a chance to expand, and again, we didn't do some things we needed to do, but they just kept plugging away, and it just seems everything. We were inability to throw breaking balls, but yeah, everybody we put out there, it seemed like we couldn't stop the bleeding, and it just kept going.
We'll take a quick break. We'll have a player profile segment for you when we come back.
TNT Fireworks is proud to support the University of North Alabama and the Lion baseball team. Like the UNA baseball program, TNT Fireworks is committed to excellence. Our product, service, and teamwork are the reasons we are America's #1 selling fireworks brand. Check us out at TNTfireworks.com. And remember, if it's not TNT, it's not fireworks. TNT Fireworks encourages the entire Shoals area to support head coach Mike Keene and his UNA Lions by attending a game at Mike D. Lane Field. Roar Lions!
What's going on up there?
Welcome home, Chuck. This is all for you.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Welcome, Lieutenant Chuck Nag home.
We're here with junior outfielder Brandon Pugh from Grove Hill, Alabama, and Clark County High School. Brandon transferred from Lurleen B. Wallace Community College down in Andalusia. And first of all, Brandon, I guess we hadn't had a lot of players from Andalusia that area. How'd you end up here at UNA?
Well, it started with the state tournament, JUCO state tournament, where my coaches, he talked to me about UNA, and he told me that they were looking for speed players, so I felt like this was the place to go. It fit my style of play, so I liked it here when I came to visit.
You're a multi-sport athlete in high school, playing football and a two-time All-State in baseball. At what point did you realize baseball was going to be your sport for your college career?
Well, it started with a senior year ending football injury, so I was like, baseball, my sport. I mean, I'm better at baseball, so that's what I went with.
Played in 26 games this season, 21 starts, and of course your speed has been crucial to the UNA program. You're leading the team, or tied for the team lead in stolen bases. You knew something about that coming here, that stolen bases is a big part of UNA's history and success.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, I've always been taught to just use my speed, my abilities, so I always get the green light. So.
Made tremendous contributions this year in the outfield, especially defensively. Is that something, I know it's an art form really in the outfield, speed doesn't do everything, but is it something you just work at and learn?
Yes, sir. I mean, I have to work on getting reads on balls like during BP. So, get my timing and just go after it.
It's been a real team effort here down the stretch run for the Lions. Of course, we mentioned you've started some, but you've also had the opportunity to come in at the end of some games, like the West Georgia games and some of those we pulled out, and play a role there and help us pull it out. It's really been team efforts.
Yes, sir. And I started struggling in the middle of the year, so coach brought me in later in the games to play defense and just be a big tool and threat later in the games.
You're a sports management major here at UNA. What's your plans for after college?
Well, I plan to try to be a coach or athletic director somewhere. Just be able to spread the game of baseball to younger players back home. So.
Thanks for being with us, outfielder Brandon Pugh.
Thank you.
Coach Keene, that player profile segment on Brandon Pugh, and not only an outstanding athlete, contributing to your program this year, but also an outstanding student. And that's one thing, if you look at especially at today's profiles, but really throughout the season, Kyle Conkle, Brantley Claunch, all these guys, tremendous student athletes as well as just great athletes.
Yeah, it was, we had one of the highest GPAs we've ever had in the fall, and just kind of getting the grade sheets coming back in. They've been able to sustain those high grades through a very interesting spring with the weather, because we've had to move a lot of stuff, change a lot of stuff, have to play some games on Monday, which is really unusual, and we got to continue to do that. So normally they don't really miss a lot of classes, but there is, being on the road, being on that bus, it is hard to get the studying and intense as you want, and they all do a great job of continuing the grades and maintaining that 3-point plus GPA that a lot of them have.
That's got to be a great thing for coaches when you're out recruiting and you see an outstanding athlete, and then delve in a little deeper and find out that they're also a great student.
Yeah, there's opportunities too, and baseball just doesn't have full ride scholarships, so any academic money helps, with the cost, and it does, opportunity to give them a little scholarship, maybe allows them to afford to go to college at the, University of North Alabama or where else they choose to go to. So it does have a bearing on it, and also, that way that. Hopefully they'll continue to do well, and you're not worried about their grades or eligibility where they're coming back year to year. It used to be a lot different a long time ago but the academic standards have increased in junior college, which really has made a difference.
Of course, that's been a great tradition here at UNA. You can go back to Josh Willingham, Douglas Hargett, those guys, academic All-Americas. But then up to today, Kyle Stevenson just named this week as a UNA College of Business Student of the Month, and just an outstanding student in accounting.
Yeah, and it was, I didn't know that it came through. I know he's been a really good student, obviously transferred from Northeast Mississippi, which he's a very good student coming in, and then that's a neat honor, and I was looking at all the stuff that he's done for the business department, is already ready to go after graduation, and I think this group of seniors, for the most part, we haven't graduated, are really getting themselves in position, after they're done with their college careers, really moving on and then going out and have a different path maybe they're going to take, but I think they're all going to be very successful whichever direction they choose to go to.
And one thing I really focus on as well, and particularly with the Bob Stevenson Award, is community service and being the well-rounded and all-around student athlete. Of course, I went to Brantley Claunch this year, and I don't know that you could do any better than Brantley.
Right, and what it is, that this year we actually will get back on track. Brantley was from last year, and then part of that is, we changed. We used to have someone who did our trophies and the plaques, and they changed and went another direction, so I found another one who can get it turned around in a time. So we will be having that. The 2014-15 winner will be at the end of the year, and we just got done with voting on that, so we'll present that to the end of the year. And obviously Brantley Claunch won it from last year, who's really does everything over and beyond, and obviously this is voted by the players and the coaching staff, so it's a really, personally, it's a really neat honor for him and for our program.
Another outstanding student athlete profile coming up now, Tyler Hall from Harvest. We're here with sophomore first baseman Tyler Hall from Harvest, Alabama, and Tyler, part of a successful high school program at Sparkman, went to the state playoffs, one of the team's leading hitters. Talk a little bit about how you ended up choosing UNA for your college career.
Well, we had the former players, Josh Carpenter, and you know Westy's on the team now. Figured I'd like to stay close to home. The guys that I knew, they talked good about the school and came over and watched them play, and it was sold me on it.
You came in, you were redshirted as a freshman, then had a tremendous season last year, hit .263, but a great on-base percentage, played great defense at first base. Do you think that redshirt season really helped you prepare for what you were able to do last year?
Yeah, I think it helped me. I don't think I was ready when I first got here. It was a big leap, but being able to practice with the guys and see like what it was going to be like helped out.
Of course, you've had a little bit less or limited opportunities this year, but really it's been total team effort. The games we've won down the stretch, a lot of different guys being able to come in and fulfill some roles and get some pinch hits, and I know you really feel like it's been a team effort to get where you are right now.
Yeah, I know we've gone through at least a couple games where we've used everybody that we could sub in, and I mean, when it's a whole team effort like that, I enjoy being around a team where everybody puts forth effort and keeps a good attitude, you know. It's a good feeling.
You were an honor student in high school. You received an advanced diploma. Just talk briefly about how to keep that balance with the college baseball. It's very demanding and the academic standards.
Yeah, I just pray about that actually. I mean, I do my same routine, but praying helps me get through it because it's a struggle.
We got 2 weeks left in the season, and of course some big games coming up. But just talk a little bit about the attitude of the team going into these final 2 weeks and trying to make the conference tournament.
After that loss to Lee, that last loss, I figured it was going to be pretty down or some negative attitudes, but it seems like everybody on the team's going the correct way that we need to go. Like everybody's just positive attitudes. We can still do this, you know. That's what we need. Everybody's just got to be positive.
Thanks for being with us. First baseman Tyler Hall from Harvest.
Thank you.
He is the most interesting man in the Shoals. He is an artist, a writer, a philosopher, a historian, musician, astronomer, wine connoisseur, environmentalist, Peace Prize recipient. When he speaks, people hang on each and every word, especially the verbs. His personality is so magnetic that he cannot carry credit cards. It is said that once he taught a German shepherd how to bark in Spanish and taught a horse to read his email. Someone recently asked him what he did for fun, and here is what he said.
I don't eat out every day, but when I do, I eat at City Hardware because to me, it's the most interesting restaurant in the Shoals.
We're here with redshirt freshman outfielder Mitchell Lovell, and Mitchell went to Sheffield High School and opportunity to come to play at UNA. What did that mean to you to be able to come to a local program where your family and friends are here and can see you play?
What it meant most is that all the hard work and all the time that my parents and family had put into seeing me progress as a player in high school. It was kind of a reward for them, for me to stay local so they can see me grow as a player in college as well.
You came to UNA, were redshirted last season. Did that help you any in maturing and getting ready for this 2015 season?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, my freshman year, it was kind of one of those situations where you kind of get in there and get nervous and try to do a little bit too much. I think I fell victim to that, but being able to redshirt, that kind of puts a little bit underneath my belt, and definitely matured as a player.
This season, a youngster on a really veteran team, you've been able to get in 16 games, a .412 on-base percentage, and one thing you've done, a lot of guys on our team have done this season, is be able to draw those walks or get hit by pitch and give us more opportunities on the base pass.
Yes, sir. Just any way to get on base, runs equals wins, so that's what we try to do.
You're a valedictorian at Mr. Sheffield High School. Now you're in college, and college baseball time very demanding time-wise. Just talk a little bit about trying to keep the balance and keeping your grades up and meeting all the demands of college.
Yeah, like you said, it is very demanding. It's just a matter of setting your priorities straight and knowing what you have to do on the field and in the classroom. So, it's just a matter of balancing and knowing what you're doing.
We got 2 weeks left in the season. Of course, a couple of rough weekends we've had, but still an opportunity to make the conference tournament. Talk a little about the attitude of the team going into these last 2 weekends.
Just focus, dialed in, 110% from everybody. We all have to be on the same page, all pushing towards the same goal. I think that's the main thing, that we all know what we're trying to accomplish as a team. I think that will lead to a lot of success.
Thanks for being with us. Mitchell Lovell from Sheffield. 2 weeks left in the 2015 UNA baseball season. Hopefully you'll go beyond that with a chance to make the conference tournament. But a couple guys who've stepped up, one in particular, freshman Kyle Hubbock at first base. He had a great week, hit a couple of home runs, and he's really somebody that's really tried to help you here in the stretch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Kyle being a freshman, very good high school player, and he's had stretches where you go, boy, he's going to kick it in, and like a lot of freshmen have little up and downs, but he plays hard, and I think he's made a lot of progress at first base. But you really saw, a lot of people really saw his potential at the plate this past weekend. This week when he was able to get the barrel on the ball, stay back and hit a home run on a breaking ball. Then Lee, we're really struggling to get some things going. He really got ready to go and jumped on a pitch and hit a line drive and just hit it off that light pole. But when he can use the whole field, stays on the ball, it really gives us an extra added offensive player. And I thought he had some really quality bats for the last 3 or 4 games. I thought he's really been locked on and really been consistent.
He's a perfect example of a guy taking an opportunity as well, because in the fall you were excited about his hitting ability, but I don't know that you foresaw him starting at first base. But 32 games this season, he's 29 starts for you, and just really done a good job defensively. No errors so far this year.
Right, and that's and we didn't know. I know it was new for him. He hadn't played a lot of first base. That I didn't know that, so it's been kind of getting used to. And I think that's the thing about Kyle. Again, he just kind of went over and said, "Okay, here's how we're going to work our infield, getting in position." Kept working, getting better and better at picking. He's got the thing about, like a lot of people, Kyle runs a lot better than a lot of people know. You don't think he can run, but he moves. He's got pretty quick feet over there, so he is one of those that's a little more agile over at first base. But yeah, I thought he's done just a really nice job for us at first base.
And another guy, Kyle Crabtree, moved over from football this year, and you weren't really sure how he was going to hit or play defense because he hadn't played in 3 years. But he's really done a tremendous job defensively, and I think his offense has been good as well.
Yeah, and I think Kyle's another one too. He's going to play really hard. Defensively is where you see him do some things. I think you saw that. I thought if you watched the league game, obviously we were wanting to get on the winning part of it, but you saw 2 pretty good defensive teams, especially up the middle. I thought they had a really good middle, and obviously I think we got a very good middle infield. But both those guys were making some plays, and he went to the backhand play, and there's where the shortstop arm comes into play. He went to a big backhand, just came up and threw that ball to first base. And offensively, I know he's been a little up and down. He gets a little frustrated, but like I said, that's the thing is, he just hasn't played enough. But as far as the way he's done and what he's done to help us, he does a lot of good things for our program.
And outfield, Dylan Calhoun, still the Lions' leading hitter. He's 369 right now. He's had a couple of little stumps, but still stepping back in, playing a great job defensively as well, but a consistent hitter for you.
Yeah, he's, and I think I kind of talked to him the other day. I think he was really trying to press, trying to do too much, trying to make everything happen. I know that's what happens when you get a little frustrated. You're trying to do more than what you need to do. When he's at his best is when he's barreling balls up all over the field. You hit him when he hits them hard to left field, hits them right field, up the middle, wherever they throw it, he hits it. But even if Montevallo, he ran some balls down against Montevallo in center field, really looked impressive. Some of the jumps he got on the ball and ran some balls down, and he's just been a very good player for us. I think he's a guy that I've seen around what we've seen play is obviously one of the better players in the conference in the outfield. So hopefully he'll get some awards for doing that, and then down the stretch, I hope he continues to do really well and gets hot down the stretch.
And our most consistent performer in the pitching staff, of course, Jacob Westerhouse, a senior for you, 5-0, 1.43 ERA, 3 saves this year, and even in some games where he extended, really pitched 5 2/3 in one game. But he's really just done whatever you needed him to do.
Yeah, and that's Jacob will. He's one of those that he likes. He'll do whatever he can to help us win. He always indicates that to us, and we've had to expand him. And when he's done that, he's been very dominating this year. He's a guy that, in my opinion, if he ever gets an opportunity to play beyond college, he can, because he's so versatile. He throws plenty enough with velocity. He can switch his arm angles, but his stuff is just so good. And when he's in the zone, you can see that people just struggle to make contact. There's a lot of them just hope he doesn't come in the game, and that's a good sign of how. The word on him is that you don't want to have be behind when Westy comes into the game, because it's pretty much going to give a chance the game's going to be over.
We'll take one more final break, and we'll be back with more Lion baseball after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Keene, head baseball coach at the University of North Alabama. Have you ever heard the saying, great baseball players are made in the off-season? As a college baseball coach, I can tell which high school recruits are on a weight program and which ones are not. Help your young athlete reach the top of his sport by training with the personal trainers at the Courthouse Racket Club. Our 5 trainers are ready to work at your athlete's pace and your schedule. Try our 3andMe training program designed for 3 athletes to work with a trainer and lower the cost to fit any budget. Call Ken Irby at 764-0034 to set up a program designed especially for your young athlete. The Courthouse Racquet Club, proudly serving the Shoals for 30 years.
TNT Fireworks is proud to support the University of North Alabama and the Lion baseball team. Like the UNA baseball program, TNT Fireworks is committed to excellence. Our products, service, and teamwork are the reasons we are America's #1 selling fireworks brand. Check us out at tntfireworks.com. And remember, if it's not TNT, it's not fireworks. TNT Fireworks encourages the entire Shoals area to support head coach Mike Keene and his UNA Lions by attending a game at Mike D. Lane Field. Roar Lions!
A great combination, Frostbite and Montague's. Florence's first self-serve yogurt shop has over 50 rotating flavors and over 100 rotating toppings. Customizable frozen yogurt. When the cup is full, the toppings are close by. Just weigh and pay. All sandwiches at Montague's are under $5. The best Philly cheesesteak and Reuben in town. Delicious sides, and they cater. Get a UNA student discount, and they accept the main card. Like Frostbite on Facebook. Frostbite and Montague, 1611 North Pine Street, Florence. Open now, Frostbite on the UNA campus.
TVA Community Credit Union is proudly open to the entire community, offering unequaled service and convenience.
They are the TVA Community Credit Union, and they make you feel like you're part of the community, part of the family. Customer service is great. I mean, they're great with my wife and I and my daughter.
We bought all of our houses, all of our cars, everything through them. With a little one running around, I don't have a lot of time. So it's real simple just to pull my mobile up and go straight to the site and check my account.
I recommend them all the time, to be honest with you. For one, I mean, their rates are great. Try to work with you to get you the lowest rates, to get you where you need to be, to set you up for the future. Don't feel like I'm a number at all. I feel like I'm a part of the family.
From mobile banking to the latest platform in online banking, we make managing your financing fast and easy. Our members are the owners of our credit union, so there are no high-priced stockholders to pay, allowing us to give our members totally free accounts and amazing loan rates. TVA Community Credit Union, everybody's credit union.
We're here with freshman pitcher Will Bishop from Florence. And Will, we've had a lot of student athletes at UNA. Their parents attended UNA, or maybe their parents even played sports at UNA. Yours is taken to a whole new level. Both your parents, Bryce and Carol, in the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame. Your sister played tennis here, all conference and academic all conference. So was there ever any doubt that you were coming to UNA?
Not really, no.
You had a tremendous high school career at Shoals Christian, and you were part of 3 state championship teams. You even made the finals the 4th year. Kind of talk a little bit about that, winning it the first year, and then kind of how hard it was to come back and repeat.
Yeah, well, the first year was my freshman year, and we were just an average team, and we really got on a roll starting playoffs, and no one really thought we were going to win it, and then we just got hot and ended up coming through, and then that really propelled us to the next 2.
And so you have basically the same group of guys, or a lot of them for those several years, so you had to feel some pressure, I guess, coming back, but with the teammates back with you, it just came about.
It did, really. Just a lot of hard work in the summer and early in the spring, really. It helped us out a lot.
You came to UNA, you were redshirted in 2013. This year you got your first opportunity to pitch. What was that like? Were there any nerves?
There was a little bit of nerves just because I didn't pitch my freshman year because I redshirted, so it was a lot of built up. I mean, I was glad to get out there and get it over with and keep going.
And you're a youngster on a really veteran staff. There's people like Brantley Claunch and Jacob Westerhouse. I mean, have you learned anything from those guys, being around them the last couple of years?
Just what hard work really is, and they just keep bringing it every single day, and they never look back. And it's something good to build off of from the older guys.
And just talk a little bit about the attitude of the team. We got 2 weeks left in the season, trying to make the conference tournament. We've had a little bit of a rough stretch, but I know y'all are really focused for these last 2 weekends.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to try and control what we can control and just win out, and just hope everything works out for the best.
Thanks for being with us. Freshman pitcher Will Bishop from Florence. Coach Keene, the Lions' next outing is going to be against an old opponent, renewing a rivalry against Mississippi College, with them moving back from Division III into the Gulf South Conference. And I guess we're the only guys old enough to remember playing them before, but it'll be the first time we played them since the 1990s. The series has now been moved. It'll be Sunday and Monday to try to get in those 3 games, and it's games we have to get in to have a chance to make the conference tournament.
Yeah, and you know, their new head coach over there, Brian's been really good about saying, you know, we'll do whatever we can. He understands the importance of the weekend, and you know, right now I think it's a little scary thing about it. Mississippi College has really been playing a lot better down the stretch. I know he's resigned his position. I saw that, so they're he's moving into venture into a new area of dealing with his family. So I think they're playing just playing the spoiler role. So we know offensively they can do some things. So we're going to have to play well if we do what we need to do at Mississippi College.
The Lions have an opportunity to catch perhaps Delta State or Valdosta State in the standings. They're within striking distance. It's all based on percentages, though. So all that you need to do is just win these final 6 games to have a chance.
Right, and we know that. I think that's what we have to do is just kind of come out and play as well as we can. We know we have to win the games. We put ourselves in a position that we didn't foresee being in. And if you would have told me that 3 weeks ago, I would have said you're crazy. But sometimes some things go in the wrong direction. We're trying to get over that hump and trying to get ourselves back into getting where we're playing real well. So, now's the time to do it. And at least like I said, if we win all 6 of them or win out, at least, then you can sit and say, okay, where we finish is where we finish. And hopefully you've done enough to get you into the tournament.
I know it's frustrating as a coach. I think you've done everything to do this season, throwing the kitchen sink at them, whether it's chastising one day or trying something the other. But I know it's just getting back to the fundamentals of doing what we've done to the start of the year when we were 21-5.
Yeah, it has, because it's interesting. In the game of baseball, so mental. And when it's going good, it seems like every break's going your way. Everything's positive, and then all of a sudden you have like one weekend where maybe it doesn't go that well. Then you kind of have another one where it just seems like, and then all of a sudden I think they start forgetting what they did when they were successful. And it's the same group of guys. It's the same teams that perform. It's the same teams that went down there and were beating some very good teams. So they're capable of doing that. But we just got to get everybody locked on and do their job and just do what they need to do to win the games. The little things. Be good on all aspects of the game. Have quality at bats. Play good defense. Get every bunt down. Be 100% moving runners over. And then have great at bats with runners in scoring position. If you do those things, obviously you're going to give yourself the best chance to win a game.
And hopefully a week from now we'll be talking about a chance to make the Gulf South Conference tournament. But before then, Senior Day is going to be coming up. We've got 7 seniors on our team in addition to our senior manager. But let's start with Zach Torberg. Been with you a long time, and he does so many things behind the scenes that nobody knows about, but he's a guy that really helps make the program run.
A lot of times, we've had some really good managers in our program over the years, and people don't understand how much they do for our program. And, Zach came in as a freshman, wasn't sure if he was going to really stick it out. Then once he got around it, and like Zach also, he played a lot of sports, and he was at Covenant Christian, so he was a baseball player. I think he played some basketball also. So he's a guy that been around the sports. He's more of a, you could call him as a manager, but he's really on our coaching staff. He throws batting practice. He'll go out and throw bunts. He's in the machine. He understands more than anybody else. He gets frustrated, when we're not doing well, and he's one that understands what they need to do, but just a huge part to our program.
And one position in particular you're going to be out recruiting for next year will be pitchers. You're going to lose Brantley Claunch, Kyle Conkle, Jacob Westerhouse, and Kyle Stevenson. So 4 guys who have really been instrumental over the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's where, if you've seen Coach Hancock's been on the road, he's trying to get out there and see some new arm. But those are going to be really some tough guys to replace. Obviously, been a very integral part of our program, especially with Brantley Claunch and Jacob Westerhouse, because they've been in their program for 4 years and have been pitching since true freshmen. And that's hard to do, and that's hard to replace. The other 2 coming in from junior college, but they've also had a really impact on the success of when we have winning, how well they've been on the mound.
And 3 other guys, Dylan Boston, of course, Brett Guzay at short, and then Jake Smith. Seniors are going to be sorely missed after this season.
Right, all of them had there. Guzay's been just such a great shortstop for the 2 years, and Dylan been there, the 3-year guy, RBI machine that he's been in our program. And then Jake Smith was one who struggled a little bit his first year, but really came on this year and has had a really good year.
Lions at Mississippi College this weekend, Sunday and Monday, and then going to be home against Shorter. Coming up next weekend, Senior Day will be announced because of weather, but we'll wait and see. But thanks for being with us. Hope to see you.
Thank you for watching the UNA Baseball Review. Please join us again next Sunday at 11:30.